Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coach Playbook with Paul LaPolice, your home for elite CFL breakdown and analysis. The Riders got a bye week, so they're going to want to watch some film. So I did a breakdown of the Riders. We did a couple of things on them. But let's start today with A.J. Ouellette's rushing. 23 carries, 139 yards, 6-yard average, 1 touchdown. I'm going to break down a couple of those runs. I got about 12 of them saved, so we can kind of see how they tried to attack the BC Lions. They did a lot of crack plays. They did what I would call some ugly runs. People use the term ugly, where they're trying to show the back going one direction. He's actually going in a different direction. And you can see you can win a lot of football games when you run the football very well and when you take the ball away on defense like they did. So let's open the playbook on the Saskatchewan Roughriders run game. Look at the Riders run game. Couple of bounce it out early. It designed as an inside run, but it ends up going outside. So let's show you what's happening. There's a term in run game called putting 4 legs on 2. There's 4 legs. And they're going to double the hell out of the line of scrimmage there. There's 4 legs. They're going to double the line of scrimmage there. I usually call this a counter play, but I don't think it is because they don't leave the outside 2. They're doubling that down guy to him. They're doubling that down guy to him. And all of a sudden, we are going to get the fullback to kick out what's happening right there. And Johnson's going to come around the horn and either be inside or outside as it plays out. So as you see the good down blocks right there. Okay, the end's going to do what's called wrong arm. He's going to spill it. What does that mean? He's going to force the ball to come out here, and people are going to try to jump over the top. You see the safety Beaulieu trying to get there. But what do the Riders do? They add in Robustelli. He goes and cracks, and then Johnson comes around and creates the opportunity to get the outside. So a little bit of different in the run game when you start adding. That's what they did a good job. They started adding receivers into their run game, creates a lot of difficult angles for people to figure out. Add a crack on the safety, big play. Bertrand Houdon, really good run here. Good instincts, good vision by him, and I'll show you that in a second. To bounce it outside, good, decent yardage. So the scheme is he's blocking out. He's got the 4 eye, if you want to call that. These 2 are blocking there. He's going to cut off this one, but he actually lets the will linebacker go and blocks back. One of these 2 can't be blocked. So right here, as he gets the ball, he's going to follow this path. Sees Furlan going up to Micah Awe. He's going to follow it, but then all of a sudden this color. See what the defensive lineman does right here? The D lineman jumps back into the space right there on Tavon Tate. So he feels that, and then he bounces it out because if that color went inside, there should be a seam outside. And he gets outside, makes a miss in space. Nice big run on what you call a pin and pull scheme. So a lot of down blocks for the Riders this game. So Matthew Betts jumps into this gap. Everyone has to line in gaps. That's his gap, that's his gap, that's his gap, that's his gap. So everyone should be, when the ball hits the line of scrimmage, in those spots. The tight end blocks down. They block down. You like blocking down because it's better angles to make the block, and they pull around the horn. So he's taking the B gap player, he's taking the C gap player, he's taking the D gap player. And they also pull the center. So as the center pulls, he can follow and block Micah Awe. And once again, Johnson is getting another block on the secondary player. Comes in on the nickel. And you just get space with all these pin and pull schemes. See, create a new sideline out here and let the back find a crease. And that's what happens here. Good execution of pin and pull. Another big run. It's just a simple, tight inside zone play with a little different action of the backfield. I call this same. Some people call it ugly. And what does that mean is the line is blocking this way. This is how this zone play should look. Those two are working up to the deep linebacker. He's got this gap player. He's free, but I believe a receiver comes and blocks him. So normally the back is aligned here and he follows that space. When you call an ugly concept, he's going to pretend like it's going the opposite way. Now, let's just watch the linebacker before we'll watch the blocking. See how it delays the linebacker's feet? He takes 3 steps in that direction. And that's all you need to help your offensive line. So as the ball gets spilled, the best thing I want you to watch is Johnson. Watch his feet. Really good. Watch him run DeBallier right down the line of scrimmage. And that's fine. Just cover him up and run him and let the back find the crease. And there it is. So really good push by everybody up front. Good run by AJ. Another good run by Bertrand Hudon, and another add-in by the receivers. So we're getting some Duncan Busby this time. He's getting a little help. So normally those two are working to this. Those two are working to this. The receiver coming across will cut that off. And the back is going to kind of just read that space. Now, Duncan Busby is probably trying to protect for the nickel to blitz, but because he's not there, he ended up just going blocking the will linebacker, which is kind of a mismatch, but he just gets enough of them. And when you watch up front, 66 here, Brammer, he makes sure zero doesn't come in, but then once he does, he knocks into the down lineman to create that hole. And that's why Thomas Hudon hits it right in that space. Duncan Busby just gets enough so it can be a bounce outside. And a good run. What's again, the previous play, Duncan Busby bounced it. Bertrand Hudon bounced it outside because he felt somebody in that hole. There is nobody in that crease, so he just stays on his path and runs it and works outside. Some type of isolation play or an ISO play. Let's see what happens here. A little bit of, not sure how they're doing this exactly. Runge is the fullback. These two are blocking the down guy. I would have thought they would have gone to 29, but I guess they didn't count him in their count. So they doubled to here. He actually comes in, Runge, he comes in and blocks the same. He's going to block out. He's going to block out. They're going to double this. So when they block out, you see a good seam. He runs up and blocks that. And I think AJ does a good job just following this double team and finding the crease wherever it is, gets his shoulder square. Now, the problem with inserting, this is called inserting fullbacks and receivers, is the guy responsible for him follows in. So you can see right now, Williams at nickel is now adding into the box in the run game. And he's hard to account for when he adds late. But AJ just is patient. He follows this double team to get what yardage he can. Shoulder square, big 8-yard gain. All the receivers are getting into the block, and here comes Myers now making a good block, springing AJ. And a couple of good things to talk about here. So, Jamarcus Hardrick, he blocks him on this play, this run play. He's going to block that player. He's going to block that player. These two are going to double that guy up to 46. You're going to try to get the tackle off on him. And we saw right here, Myers come in and pin that edge. And now the tailback is just reading as he gets to this space. Did the guy stay in this gap? Did the guy stay in this gap? If they do, I wind it back here. And hopefully they've gotten off. And you can see Williams getting off on the linebacker, gets a piece. He's upfield. There's a nice crease for him to run. Gets shoulder squares and turn. So good vision. One other thing, I love what Hardrick actually recognizes. He plays contain and somebody else comes into his space. So he just wants to, don't let that guy read. That guy could affect the run. So he lets him go and blocks this one. Good heads up run. Big run, but more than anything, great vision by AJ and makes a guy miss an open space for the touchdown. So try to identify what's happening here. Working here. There's no linebacker right here. And the O-line are not going to count him in their counting scheme for the inside zone play. He's going to block him. So these two can really block back there. So he can really build a wall right there and knock into this because his person they're working to is so far away. So he can stay on the down guy longer. These guys should be just working back. And you can see right there, Hardrick, see him tapping his right there? He's basically saying, I'm blocking out because he knows his threat is that far outside removed. Just kind of letting everybody know, if you're going to try to read this end, don't worry about it. I'm blocking out on him. But AJ Ouellette, watch this vision. He's running right here, and he's got a huge space, but he sees color beat the tackle. And all the tackle should do is just keep his hands on, which he recovers, puts him in space with Coyle. Coyle can't make the play. Touchdown. So, great vision. You have to have a running back who can recognize pictures. The ball should spill right in this space until color shows up. So I always talk about you're reading like the B-gap defender out to next defender back. And that out term tells you, hey, if you naturally see this happen, bounce it outside. He's got to make the tackle. He doesn't. Too much space. Touchdown. Just another good picture. Uncle Busby here. Those two are there. These two, 4 legs on 2 to that spot. These two are going to double and hang on this. And he's going to cut off this backside. That's the scheme. And as they try to slant, really good. So there's a little bit of movement here. Watch. When the ball snapped, he crosses this way. He crosses this way. Watch how they... I really like Fry here recognizes that he can't help anymore on this gap player. So now what's he do? He goes out and helps the tackle. And what does that do? It creates this lane right here. And what does AJ do? He presses it right behind the double team to force Micah to come this way. And then he comes backside. Shoulder square all the time. Nice run. Another same side run play, running zone one way and having the back on the same side as the number. Okay, same side as the hole. The run's going this way. So when I say same, normally you line up here and run it that way. If I say same, I put you over here. So it looks like the ball's going this way, and that's trying to freeze. You can see we've moved Micah this way. We've moved Bouillou. Is that Bouillou? Yeah, moved him this way. But everybody else is running zone this way. So he blocks out. He's working. He's working. He's pinning. He's coming up. So you can see everybody doesn't have great angles. He's got a long way to go because 56 is here. So what? Just get a piece of him and run him. Just get a piece and run and let the back find the crease. And there it is. Great cutback coming across. Boom. Good collision here. That's the crease you're looking for. All right, last one. You can see they really wanted to make sure that they run this ugly concept or same side zone play. 1, 2, 3, cut off, cut off. A little bit too much penetration here, but good balance by AJ, finding the crease to get north-south. So a lot of different looks for the Riders run game. Thought there was some good stuff. Not sure what this is all about. What are we jumping straight up in the air for? Not sure. I don't think that snap was too high, but that was kind of goofy. But good day for the Riders run game.